A supply shock may be imminent for Crowcoin, as about 37% of the circulating supply is being staked on the Cronos POS chain to generate passive income. So in today's video, we are going to break down exactly why the amount of Crowcoin being staked basically skyrocketed overnight from 6.8 billion, now sitting above 9 billion, and what this could potentially mean for the price action of this altcoin. You can expect to hear about all of this and more in today's episode of the Everything Crypto Show. Now, before we hop into the content, just a friendly reminder that I am not a financial advisor. I am simply here for your crypto news and entertainment purposes. And if you do find the videos informative and or entertaining, please consider hitting that sub and like button and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when all of our latest videos go live. Now, we're going to hop into today's content talking all about Crowcoin. And yeah, it has definitely been a pretty big night for Crowcoin here, as basically overnight we saw the amount of Crow delegated to the Cronos POS chain and basically staked to earn that nice yield shoot up from 6.8 billion to above 9 billion tokens. And this is very out of the ordinary for this project to see such a big increase overnight. It has been steadily growing. I believe, not even 2 years ago, there was about 4 billion Crow locked up on the chain. And then as of a couple of days ago, there was about 6.8 billion. And yeah, now we are above 9 billion. And when I say locked up, I basically just mean delegated to this chain to earn that staking yield. And if you do want to get your Crowcoin back, it does actually undergo a 28-day unbonding period. So that's why we so frequently cover, how much Crow is being staked on the Cronos POS chain, because crypto is very volatile, okay? Things can change in crypto in a day. And I think that people that are locking up their Crowcoin and willing to undergo a 28-day unbonding period are most likely going to be long-term holders. So that's why I think the Cronos POS chain is very important to look at. And the more Crowcoin that is locked up here, that is out of the circulating supply in terms of buy and selling pressure, I do believe is bullish for the actual price action of this project. So I kind of want to dig into exactly why this happened and what this means, okay? Because as the amount of Crow being delegated goes up, the staking yield also comes down. So I do want to kind of talk about the implications of this. And we saw a tweet here from Jerry Chong on Twitter. Now, Jerry actually runs his very own staking pool. This is Jerry's pool. We have spoken about this on the channel multiple times. If we actually go over to the different delegator pools here, we have Jerry with 359 million Crow, so about a 3.96% share of all Crowcoin currently being staked. And he basically has his analytics here on the screen, and it shows second batch of Crypto.com in-app staking conversion are rolling out to validators. And the total staked Crow is about to exceed 30% of the total supply. So second batch of Crypto.com in-app staking conversion. And this is the key. This explains what exactly is going on and why we have seen such a big increase overnight. This is basically due to Crypto.com actually moving a bunch of Crowcoin into the staking program. And the reason they are doing this does actually relate back to the Crypto.com Visa. So the Crypto.com Visa, this is the card. This is, in my opinion, one of the best, if not simply the best crypto Visa on the market that is offered to scale. And basically the way it works is Crypto.com incentivizes users to buy a certain amount of Crowcoin and lock it up for the Visa. And based on the amount of Crowcoin that you lock up delegated in US dollars, or whatever your local currency is, you are going to basically receive the card tier that kind of meets the amount that you put in. So we can see here that the Ruby Steel you can purchase for 400 USD, and that gets you 1% cash back up to 25 bucks. The Royal Indigo and Jade Green, you put down 4,000 USD worth of Crow to get 2% cash back on all purchases. Frosted Rose Gold and Icy White is 40,000 USD worth of Crow for 3% cash back. And then the Obsidian Black is 400,000 USD for 5% cash back on all purchases. And there are some other benefits here as well, but the cash back is the big one in my opinion. And these can be buffed with the Crypto.com Rewards Plus program, which we did also cover on the channel. You can actually increase the cash back yield on all of these cards by up to 3%. Now, when we say cash back, effectively, we actually mean Crow back, because you get paid in Crow, which I do think is relevant, right? Because we spoke about this a lot during the bear market when Crow was at that 5-cent range. And I basically said that, any cash back you're earning at 5 cents, if Crow was to go back up to 10 cents, well, guess what? If you were getting 5% cash back at, 5 cents, that 5% has now turned into 10% cash back if you did actually convert back to your local currency at that 10-cent area. So I think that's a really important caveat to kind of be aware of when it does come to the Visa, one that does work to the Visa holder's advantage, in my opinion. And I do think this is pretty bullish for Crow coin, because as soon as you actually go ahead and basically unstake your Crow after a 6-month period, you do lose majority of the benefits. So the Visa is, I think very intentionally designed in a way that does incentivize people to lock up their Crow coin. Now, what we actually saw from Crypto.com, I believe this was back in late December, maybe even early or late November, early December. They basically said that they were going to be kind of converting the cardholder Crow staking or the Crow lockup into the Crow staking. So basically, what they did was under Crow staking, they took your Crow that was initially kind of launched with the Visa, and instead they are now staking it via the Cronos POS chain. Okay, so we can see here that all of this Crow that was actually converted from the Visa program into the Cronos POS chain, this did come from Crypto.com. That is why we saw such a drastic increase in the staking yield effectively overnight, as about 2.2 billion Crow was actually added to the Cronos POS chain. So right off the bat, just think about that. We have 2.2 billion Crow added to the Cronos POS chain, and we have a circulating supply at the moment of, I believe it was like 26.4 billion. So effectively, just under 10%, like let's say 8 to 9% of all Crow coin was in fact kind of locked up here in the Visa program. And that just shows you the significance of the Visa program and how popular it has been, as pretty much about 10% of all Crow circulating was being used or locked up for this Crow cardholder staking. It is now being used here via the cardholder staking is basically transferred from whatever Crypto.com was doing with it before to actually staking it via the Cronos POS chain. And the following jurisdictions are not eligible to participate in this: Canada, Guam, Hong Kong, Singapore, Puerto Rico, South Korea, the United States, and U.S. Virgin Islands. Cardholders in the above jurisdictions are eligible for Crow lockup. So the Crow lockup is effectively the way the Visa has been for quite a while, and the Crow staking was actually kind of the conversion of this Crow onto the Cronos POS chain. So you do also have to consider the fact that, all of North America and some other regions here were actually not even included in this migration, which means we could assume that, maybe even 20-25% of all Crow coins circulating is locked up for the Visa. And you do also actually earn a yield here for holding the Visa as well. So Royal Indigo and Jade Green 4%, Frosted Rose Gold and Icy White 7%, same thing for Obsidian Black. But they said that this is going to change depending on the actual yield being offered by the Cronos POS chain, as that's where they're generating the rewards to give back to the Visa holders. So I would assume that this yield has now kind of made its way down to about 5.5%, maybe even 5%. As unfortunately, as more people have locked up their Crow on the Cronos POS chain, this has also resulted in a reduced yield. So we basically saw it move down overnight. Just as the amount of Crow delegated increased, the amount of staking yield actually decreased. And the reasoning for this is the more Crow that is actually being locked up on the chain, the more the rewards are being shared across more delegators, more validators. So you're basically sharing more of the rewards with other people. So that's kind of like the give and take when it comes to this. Is it's nice to have this Crow coin locked up and out of circulation, or out of the sort of like the buying and selling order books. However, the flip side to that is that the yield does also go down at the same time. So overall, I know that some people are not going to be happy with the fact that the yield basically dropped from 7.5% to 5.5% overnight. That is more than understandable. But I do want to just take a second to kind of look here at the Staking Explorer and put things in perspective. So what we're going to do is actually take a look at the staking yield being offered in some of the top altcoin ecosystems. So we can actually see here, we have Ethereum offering about a 3.5% yield there. We have Solana offering, this is 6.99%. Cardano offering 3%. Sui offering 4.5%. AVAX offering 8.5%. Aptos 6.45%. I mean, BNB chain coming in at 2.81. We have some double digits here like Polkadot offering 14.2, Cosmos offering 16.5, Inge offering 14, Mina 11, and then here we have Crocoin coming in here at about 5.97%. That has now been reduced further to 5.3% more or less. So, I mean, to put things in a perspective, it's really not that bad. It is about average overall, comparatively speaking, if you look at a lot of these altcoin ecosystems. And we can see here the staking ratio has shot up by 30.23% in the past 7 days. And here's a pretty good look at what that looks like. So we have the price of Crocoin and then the actual staked Crow. And let's remove this price and just look at the staked Crow and then look at the reward rate. That is like a tongue twister. And yeah, you can basically see here like this inverse correlation, right? Whereas the amount of Crow stake trends up, the rewards trend down as more of it is being shared. And yeah, like I said, I mean, pros and cons with everything, but overall, I do think it's bullish to see more increased participation on the Cronos POS chain, to see that Crocoin out of the float and, basically out of buying and selling markets as it is being delegated for that yield. And if that does come at the cost of a reduced yield, but still a nice one in my opinion at over 5%, then I personally don't think it's that bad of a balance whatsoever. Now, to wrap things up, I do want to take a quick look at the Crocoin chart. I mean, we didn't really see much of a reaction based on this news. I think because a lot of people do recognize that, it's crypto.com making this conversion. It's not like we've seen a massive inflow of new money into the Crocoin ecosystem. So there wasn't really much of a reaction based on this news. However, I do want to kind of update you guys on this chart, because one thing I am eyeing here is the fact that Crocoin is in fact validating the bull market support band as a level of support. And to put this into perspective, we can see here the bull market support band historically has been a very good indicator for predicting when Crocoin is either bullish or bearish. Back here, we actually back tested it one final time before we ran all the way up. I mean, not one final time, but on the last time before it went on that crazy run from, give or take 14-15 cents up to about 96 cents American. And then we can see here in the beginning of the bear market, Crocoin got rejected at the bull market support band at about 50 cents before plummeting down to 12 cents, and then got rejected once again at the bull market support band here before moving down further. And basically, the bull market support band was acting as resistance for Crocoin for over a year, right? From basically give or take, early 2022 all the way up until late 2023 in October, when Crocoin did break above it, got extended above it, actually did come back to back test it, and is now moving higher from that level. So that's definitely something I am keeping my eye on when it comes to Crocoin. And the next key area I would be looking for Crocoin to take out is that 10-cent mark. So on that note, let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Cronos POS chain. Are you upset that the yield was reduced? Do you like that more Crocoin is delegated? Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the content in today's video. I hope you are all staying happy, safe, and healthy, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.